All right, look, I'm not saying this is confirmed. I'm not saying this is 100% fact, but the rumors coming out right now about the fallout between Miss Universe and Nawat, it's honestly getting wild. And if even half of what's being whispered behind the scenes is true, then this situation is way bigger than anyone first thought. Because there are now claims, and again, these are claims, that after Miss Universe allegedly took legal action against him, Nawat may have admitted privately that he's struggling financially. Some sources even go as far as saying he told people he's basically broke. That's the conversation circulating in pageant circles, and people are talking about it like crazy. So today, we're breaking down everything that's being speculated. Why Miss Universe allegedly moved toward legal action, why insiders say sponsorship money disappeared overnight, why staff members are whispering about financial stress, and how this all connects to a rumored confession about him being out of cash. This is all alleged, all speculative, but there's definitely smoke here. Let's get into it. So let's rewind to the moment that allegedly sparked this whole avalanche. We've all seen that viral clip by now. The rehearsal in Thailand, the pre-event press moment where everything was supposed to be calm and polished. Contestants smiling, posing, practicing, just another day in pageant world. And then suddenly, chaos, on camera, in front of everyone. The clip appears to show Nawat confronting Miss Mexico, Fatima Bosch, in a moment that was definitely not meant for the public. In that video, and every clip is slightly different depending on the angle, it sounds like he may have called her something along the lines of dumb or dumbhead. Some people claim he said something else entirely. The audio is debatable, but whatever he said, the energy in that room changed instantly. Fatima responds with, "You're not respecting me as a woman." And boom, silence, absolute silence. Contestants looked frozen. Cameras stopped moving. You could practically feel the tension through the screen. Now again, multiple sides have given multiple explanations for what happened. But the fallout didn't come from the moment itself. It came from the internet. The clip blew up globally. Millions of views, thousands of comments, entire threads dedicated to analyzing the audio. And once the internet locks onto something, there's no containing it. National directors started posting. Former contestants chimed in. Pageant bloggers were dissecting it frame by frame. Hashtags began trending worldwide. And that's when the rumors started brewing that Miss Universe's leadership held an emergency internal meeting. Allegedly, nothing confirmed. But a lot of insiders close to the organization claimed the scandal was so damaging that sponsors began reaching out behind the scenes, supposedly asking for answers, which, if true, would be disastrous, because reputation is everything in that industry. And if sponsors feel uncomfortable, money dries up fast. Within 48 hours, Miss Universe made their move, publicly, officially, decisively. They suspended him, or restricted his involvement, depending on how you interpret their wording. Many people took that as code for "he's out," but according to the whispers, that wasn't the end of it. Apparently, Miss Universe leadership was still furious behind the scenes, and this is where the legal speculation begins. Now again, I'm going to be super clear. I'm not saying any lawsuit is 100% confirmed. I'm not saying I've seen documents. I'm not saying this is proven, but several outlets and pageant insiders have been hinting heavily that Miss Universe may have considered legal action due to brand damage. Some even suggest they may have taken steps already. The claims go something like this. If the behavior of a franchise head or director leads to measurable harm, like sponsors distancing themselves, negative global press, or reputational loss, the organization has the right to pursue damages. That's the rumor. And that's allegedly when things took a very dark turn for Nawat financially, because here's where the leaked whispers begin. After the suspension, several sponsors reportedly froze or paused their involvement with his projects. Again, this is what sources claim, nothing officially verified. People inside the Thai pageant scene started hinting that his cash flow wasn't the same. Some said production budgets were being cut. Some said staff weren't being used as often. Some claimed that events were being scaled back. It was all subtle, all whispered, all under the surface. But then the big rumor dropped. The claim that during a quiet, off-camera conversation with media, a conversation that was never supposed to be public, Nawat allegedly said he doesn't have money left to fight Miss Universe legally. One person present said he used the word broke. Another said he used empty. Someone else said he was talking about the weight of financial pressure. Are those quotes verified? No. Are they circulating like wildfire? Absolutely. And let's be honest, they line up with everything else happening around him. Because once those clips went viral, the changes were noticeable. Events were postponed. Interviews were canceled. Partnerships went silent. Media appearances stopped. People close to him, again, allegedly, claimed he was stressed, overwhelmed, and worried about the financial implications of the scandal, that he was trying to negotiate behind closed doors, that he was terrified of the legal angle. Some even say he started selling off personal assets to cover expenses. Other sources dispute that. But the fact the rumor even exists says a lot about how people perceive the situation. One insider claimed he didn't realize how quickly the fallout would hit his accounts. Another said, he thought the scandal would pass in a week. It didn't. Financial strain, stress, silence from sponsors, legal pressure, canceled events. Every sign pointed toward financial problems, whether mild or severe. But then came the interview that kicked this rumor into overdrive. During a Thai TV appearance, Nawat appeared extremely emotional, teary, tired, shaken. Now, none of this confirms anything financial, but people started noticing something was different. Something felt off. His tone, his body language, his choice of word. He talked about being human. He talked about pressure. He talked about the strain. He apologized without fully apologizing. And viewers started connecting dots that may or may not be real. Then off camera, or allegedly off camera, that "I'm broke" comment was supposedly made. No footage, no recording, just witnesses claiming it happened. And that's when the story spun out into a full-blown narrative. Suddenly, the pageant community was buzzing. Comment sections exploded. Pageant bloggers started digging deeper. Financial analysts began speculating about the costs of losing sponsorships. Because even without confirmed numbers, the math is simple. Pageants require massive budgets. Losing brand deals can ruin an entire season. Legal fees can bleed anyone dry, especially if you're going up against a corporate giant like Miss Universe. And according to the rumors, he simply doesn't have the resources for that fight. So let's talk truthfully. Not as a hater, not as a fan, just realistically. Could the rumor be true? Yeah, it could. Financial fallout can hit fast. Could it be exaggerated? Also yes. The internet loves drama. Could it be completely made up? Possible. People stretch stories all the time. But here's what we do know. Since the scandal, he hasn't hosted major events like before. He hasn't been as public. He hasn't flaunted money or power the way he used to. He's been noticeably quiet about future pageant plans. Silence speaks loudly in the pageant world. And the biggest question isn't even whether he's broke. It's whether he can come back from this, financially or professionally. Some insiders say he can't. They believe this has permanently damaged his business connections, allegedly. Others say he'll bounce back, that this is temporary, also allegedly. But one thing is certain. This scandal didn't just bruise his public image. It might have shaken the foundation of his entire brand. And the fact that people are even speculating about bankruptcy, legal pressure, disappearing sponsors, and financial decline tells you how far the situation has spiraled. This isn't just a viral moment anymore. It's become a full domino effect. And once those dominoes start falling, it's very hard to stop them. And here's where another layer of rumors starts bubbling up. And honestly, this might be one of the most interesting parts of the entire situation, because a few insiders, again, nothing confirmed, have suggested that there were already tensions inside Miss Universe, long before the viral confrontation. Some people believe certain executives were frustrated with how much influence certain franchise heads had. Others claim there were disagreements over branding direction, national leadership, and how much control local directors should have. If that's true, then this incident might have been the final straw, the moment the organization allegedly needed to pull the trigger on changes they'd been wanting for a while. Some people even believe this wasn't spontaneous, that higher-ups were just waiting for something big enough to justify removing him entirely.
Is that real? No clue. But the rumor makes the situation feel a lot less like a meltdown and more like a power shift. Another part of this story that isn't getting enough attention is what contestants are supposedly saying privately. And again, these are only claims, but several participants from different countries have hinted that the viral confrontation wasn't an isolated moment. Some say there were comments made during rehearsals. Some say there was tension for days. Some claim he was strict, stressed, or dismissive at times. There are even whispers that certain contestants were relieved when Miss Universe stepped in. Do we know this for a fact? No. But these stories are feeding into the narrative that this scandal opened the floodgates on things people wanted to say for a long time. So what happens next? That's the part nobody knows. Maybe the lawsuit rumors are exaggerated. Maybe sponsors return. Maybe he fixes things behind the scenes. Maybe this blows over eventually. Or maybe more comes out. Maybe the legal angle grows. Maybe more contestants speak up. Maybe the financial smoke leads to actual fire. We'll just have to see. This story is developing by the hour. And if the behind the scenes whispers are even partly true, we're only seeing the beginning. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Do you think the broke rumor is legit? Do you think Miss Universe went too far? Or is this the natural fallout of the scandal? Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos, and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.